You got a lot of money, you don't need stocks?
I ain't gonna tell that. That ain't for everybody. I ain't gonna tell that, but it's cool.
You're cash rich.
Very. But always put, when you talk about money with me, always put very.
Very. Like you're very cash rich.
No, I'm not rich. Very wealthy.
He owes people lots of money. The IRS just leaned on him again. Fat Joe style, leaned back on him for another, what, $7 million? After Floyd took an advance to cash, he took a cash advance on this fight because he signed however many different contracts already. And to sign those, he was paid money and then took a cash advance.
It's more than you want to pay.
Yeah.
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
Reports have emerged alleging the IRS is pursuing Mayweather Promotions over a claimed $100 million debt, sparking Floyd's fierce pushback. He stressed his unbroken track record of success and solid financial position despite retiring from active competition. Floyd acknowledged there will always be people waiting for his downfall, but declared he refuses to let outside criticism or hostile energy derail his achievements or mental focus.
Able to have everything up here when their career is over. That's the great thing about my career. You know why they don't like me? Because I win. And sometimes I'm like, damn, well, we want to see him lose once, or we want to see something happen because all he do is win. This is what God wanted. You know, so, and it's just like, they say, well, Floyd, how did you become the bad guy in the sport of boxing? How did you become the bad guy? Well, it wasn't that I became the bad guy. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to take over my
public records. Documentation reveals the IRS has filed tax liens against Floyd Mayweather, totaling millions in unpaid obligations. This adds to mounting legal challenges, suggesting the former champion hasn't resolved various financial commitments according to government records.
They don't fight Netflix, and I'm assuming the representatives of Manny Pacquiao are gonna be on his ass in court. And that's not a fight he can win right now. Where's the money coming from? Floyd has got to be the dumbest person in a position that he is in, and one of the dumbest rich people alive. He has to be. Because how do you think you're going to strong-arm Netflix into doing what you want to do with this whole, no, it's going to be an exhibition, no, we don't know where the fight's going to be, after it's already announced where the fight's going to be, the date it's going to be on, and it is going to be a pro bout. And also, you're not in a position to be very flippant with money. So not only will Floyd potentially, if this is not signed by tomorrow or today as you guys are seeing this video, Manny's representative there, Jazz Mather, said that Floyd would make more than he's made in the last 5 years on this fight, and I agree with him. Combined, if you don't take this now, not only are you not going to make that money, you're going to owe money because you already took money. You took a cash advance on.
Floyd discusses launching Mayweather Promotions as a completely self-funded venture, driven by his determination to control every aspect of his professional trajectory. He explains that breaking free from external promoters and maintaining total authority over his career decisions and public image became fundamental to building sustainable success and preserving his autonomy in the business.
Who were just promoting in one area. Who don't want to be their own boss? I want to be my own boss. And I talk about a lot of these guys, a lot of these fighters out here talking about, yeah, I got my own promotion, my own promotion company. How? You can't even advance a fighter $1 million. You can't advance a fighter $2 million. When you can advance a fighter $3 million and $4 million, then you can become a promoter. Until then,
Joe Rogan acknowledges the massive fortune Floyd accumulated throughout his boxing dominance, while simultaneously addressing accusations that he's avoided paying certain obligations like taxes and outstanding debts. Rogan suggests Floyd has managed to escape serious repercussions despite these ongoing financial allegations and controversies. So much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right.
You know, it
I've
was
given
not
you
good?
$25 million.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, like what are you talking about, man?
He's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash. Hilarious. I love
Yeah,
it.
he has 15 million worth of cars.
Congratulations.
But he doesn't drive.
I like it. Good. You can sell those. They're worth a lot of money. You can get that money too.
Yeah.
You know, it's he's really interesting in the amount of money that he's able to generate.
Yeah.
You know, he's figured out some pretty incredible
He's a great villain too, man.
Oh, he's brilliant at it.
Allegations suggest Floyd employed manipulative negotiation strategies with Manny Pacquiao that potentially compromised the integrity of their agreement. Should these accusations prove accurate, he might face litigation for contract fraud or failing to uphold the originally negotiated terms for their high-profile encounter.
So, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to be hit with the lawsuit, that's my understanding, from Manny Pacquiao, because Floyd Mayweather Jr. tried to play a slick negotiations game. And let me tell you what this slick negotiations game was. It was apparently, this is my opinion, what I'm gathering from this, that Floyd Mayweather Jr. went to Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao agreed to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. on Netflix. The information for this fight was widely distributed, so Floyd Mayweather Jr. got good publicity out of the announcement. People are, to the extent that they're excited about it, The deal also got done with Netflix. But after Floyd, according to Manny Pacquiao's people, took an advance, right, which is money, against the fight with Manny, watch this.
Floyd secured an upfront payment for the bout, and approaching 50, he continues competing primarily as an income source, according to industry observers. Stephen Bremen credits Floyd's promotional genius, theorizing that labeling the Netflix fight as an exhibition represents another shrewd publicity maneuver designed to maintain his relevance and marketability.
For argument's sake, you usually don't count fights this late in the guy's career, but because Floyd constantly markets himself as the undefeated fighter, and that's all everybody talks about, and you know he says that he's better than everybody else, the Ray Leonards, the Roy Joneses, the Alis, because he never lost and he did. I don't know if some of the fans are going to let him get away with it if he loses. Like, okay, well now you lost. It's 50-1, and it's not like he could say he lost to a 25-year-old. He'd be losing to another older guy. So I don't know how to quantify that, because I normally don't take a fight serious once a guy gets to a certain point in his age. It's like, but when your whole career has been based on being undefeated, you know, there's going to be somebody on the other side of the candle that's going to hold that against you and say, wait a minute, you know. So I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't hold it against either guy if they lost this late in their career, but that's how Floyd, you know, that's how he markets himself with the.
Pacquiao reportedly felt blindsided when Floyd retroactively characterized their encounter as an exhibition, despite their previous understanding that it would constitute an official professional championship fight with full sanctioning.
Heard that Floyd said, no, it's not a professional fight, it's an exhibition. What were you thinking?
I called just right away. What happened? Like, that's not what we signed. Like, we signed a real fight. So he gets his advantage why he's announcing like this propaganda exhibition, that blah blah blah, things like that. So just told me this. I don't have an idea. So
why do you think that he wants it to be an exhibition, even though he signed the contract? Floyd's signature is on this contract?
Floyd's signature is on multiple contracts.
And it says professional fight.
Professional fight.
Why do you think that Floyd is now saying, after he signed the contract for a professional fight, no, it's an exhibition? Why do you think? Do you have an opinion, a theory?
I think he's scared of losing. And he's scared of losing.
Pacquiao firmly denies approving any exhibition format and questions Floyd's true motivations behind this sudden shift in how the fight is being marketed and positioned to the public.
You know, it's leverage for, you know, to go around and have the exhibition because of his undefeated record. But if that record will ruin, then what else that he can leverage for to go around and have an exhibition of?
I mean, he could leverage what you do. You've lost fights because you fought everyone, right?
Yeah.
So if you're still one of the greatest fighters who ever lived, and you could leverage the fact that you're Manny Pacquiao. But you think it means that much to him to be undefeated, that even though there's so much money on the line and he's already signed it, he now wants it to be an exhibition?
Then that's I always say that, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a undefeated fighter, and this you are.
Yeah.
What I can say is like he's a self-proclaimed GOAT.
Right.
Self-proclaimed GOAT, because he can't even claim in which part that he can claim that he's the only. He cannot claim that he's the only undefeated fighter.
Robert Garcia voices ongoing concerns that Floyd may be breaching specific provisions outlined in Pacquiao's signed contract, creating potential grounds for legal action and financial penalties.
Signed a contract with Netflix and Manny. Does it happen or no?
Mayweather's the best at promoting fights. He's the best at controversy. He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight, and he's gonna go out there and win. Look, people think he's not focused. He's not training. Mayweather's always in shape.
He's in the gym every day.
Mayweather's always in shape. But then we see Pacquiao running the mountains every day with 50 people around him. He wants to be the first one. So he's killing himself. He's working his legs at almost 50. He's working his legs extra hard. When it comes to sparring, he spars tough sparring partners.
At 48 years old, Floyd's physical capabilities have natural limitations, though he remains a formidable opponent despite age-related decline in certain athletic areas.
And I'll bet you Mayweather, people think, oh, Mayweather's out of shape, he's not training. I'll bet you deep in...
The analysis suggests Floyd shows no fear facing Pacquiao and welcomes the challenge, but warns that Manny risks making costly strategic mistakes, especially with Netflix's involvement amplifying every aspect of their confrontation.
To be in shape, to be able to box for 12 rounds. Mayweather's not killing himself in sparring. He's not killing his legs and running, but I bet you he's doing workouts that are not going to kill his legs and are not going to fuck him up when it comes to sparring. But I bet you he'll be in shape for the fight, and I bet you he's going to win by decision.
You think Mayweather's decision? Manny's motivated.
Manny's burning himself out. Too much runs like a true champion does. But he's 48.
Mayweather's older, Robert.
Yes, but he's not doing the same workouts that Manny's doing. Manny's showing it to the world. Manny's running in front of 50.
But he looks good when he walks.
He's running hard, and he's gonna fucking. His body can't take that much. His body can't take that much. Mayweather knows his body can't take that much. That's why he's doing different trainings to be in shape, but to be able to perform and to be fast and to win a decision. I guarantee you.
How big is that fight when it happens?
Big, not as big as the first one, but.
Wade Plemons characterizes Floyd's current predicament as dangerously complex and financially precarious. He emphasizes the fight has been formally scheduled and marketed as a legitimate professional contest, making it nearly impossible for Floyd to alter these terms without severe consequences. Wade stresses Floyd cannot afford financial missteps after reportedly accepting substantial advance payments, warning that failure to honor the complete agreement could cost him more than his recent years' combined earnings. Contract violations might trigger legal action requiring full repayment plus additional legal expenses, while publicly calling it an exhibition may have already destabilized the entire arrangement.
And you breached your contract, so you're now going to have to pay lawyer fees. You're going to lose, all because you piped up in public and essentially on the entire event, saying it was something it wasn't. Floyd, no money Mayweather, dude. I can't believe that's where we're at. Less than 24 hours he has to come to an agreement. He has a contract, apparently. Again, according to Team Pacquiao, I'm sure there'll be a statement from Team Floyd. I don't even know who's on Floyd's team anymore. Leonard Ellerby's gone. I don't know if Al Heyman's probably not working with him because he's not necessarily directly in a lawsuit with Al Heyman, but that's another thing. Floyd is directly in a lawsuit with Showtime right now for $300 million, saying they didn't pay him, that they paid Al Heyman and that money never got facilitated to him. This is a mess, dude. And you know, people were like, oh, Floyd ain't going broke. And okay, he made close to $1 billion, but I'm telling you, when you spin like Floyd Mayweather spins, when you take advantage of people and try to essentially steal.
Wade also highlights apparent instability within Floyd's management structure, noting key figures like Leonard Ellerby appear absent while questioning Al Heyman's continued involvement beyond this immediate fight. He references additional financial pressures, including a massive legal battle with Showtime worth hundreds of millions in disputed payments and contractual obligations.
These little things become big things where you're not paying off. I mean, we went over all this already, but you're not paying off properties that are getting foreclosed on. You owe millions upon millions of dollars to the IRS. You're buying assets that don't appreciate. You're having to sell back things and close businesses. You are not paying rent on spots in New York, on private jets, that one of which he had to already sell. And then you're in 2 major lawsuits that are probably going to take a long time to figure out. If you don't sign this contract, Floyd might legitimately go broke and declare bankruptcy. I'm not even joking about that. He might actually go broke. I don't know how much money he has actually liquid, because remember when he fought Conor McGregor back in, what was it, 2017, 2018? He told the IRS he didn't have liquid amount of money, $20 million liquid after making almost $1 billion.
Omar Abdullah contends that reports of Floyd's financial ruin are exaggerated and misleading sensationalism. He emphasizes wealth remains relative, arguing that even if Floyd's fortune has decreased from its absolute peak, his current assets still far exceed what typical individuals accumulate over entire lifetimes. Abdullah believes comparing average personal finances to Floyd's elite economic status lacks proper perspective and context.
Practical. Financially, look, me being broke and Floyd being broke are 2 different conversations, right? I don't know. I mean, is he down to his last 100 million? Is he down to 50 million? Did he make good investments? I don't know. I mean, I hear stories just like you hear stories. I don't have any factual basis of being able to make an assessment there. And I think it's reckless, and I think it's dangerous for people to be able to put things out there and say, oh, he's broke. Oh, he has to fight for money. The guy still enjoys fighting. He's still doing these fights because he likes to fight. He's doing the Manny Pacquiao fight with Netflix, which I can only imagine what those numbers are. He had the Mike Tyson thing, and I saw, I know what those numbers are. They're good paydays. Why wouldn't you do that at this stage of your career and you're having fun with it if you still like to do it? If it's because he has to, well, then he has to do it. And what's the shame in that? Because everybody, has that pretense of, oh, he's squandered his money, or he's, bragging about this and that and the other thing. That's the persona. That's why he made money, is because of
Abdullah highlights Floyd's enduring brand power and ability to generate massive revenue through his celebrity status and promotional skills. Whether facing Pacquiao or participating in entertainment-focused events, Floyd consistently commands enormous paydays that reflect his market value. Abdullah suggests these late career appearances stem from entertainment appeal and personal interest rather than desperate financial necessity, while pointing to Floyd's luxury lifestyle, extensive property portfolio, and carefully maintained public image as evidence his wealth remains substantial.
He squandered $1 million. He's done it up the wall, whether it's on the projects, gambling, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he's fighting again.
So a couple of things. Floyd's my neighbor. He lives in my neighborhood. Like, we share the same backyard and the golf course that's between us. And I see him jogging around the neighborhood, and I have utmost respect for Floyd Mayweather, the athlete. Floyd Mayweather outside of boxing is a different conversation, which nobody cares in my opinion, because it's my opinion. Inside of boxing, because we're in that space, I have the utmost respect for what he did. I think he did generate more money than any other fighter in the history of the sport. I think he put eyeballs on the sport more than any other fighter. I think he pioneered so much, and to that, there is utmost respect for the guy. And I without hesitation, I think he's TBE when it comes to what he's accomplished for the business of boxing and for the market. Fannin, a boxing analyst.
Analysis indicates Floyd might be strategically repositioning after initially accepting the fight's original terms and conditions. Experts suggest he could potentially reclassify the event from a sanctioned professional bout into an exhibition format, fundamentally changing the agreed-upon framework. Such modifications could severely damage Pacquiao's contractual position, since Manny accepted advance payments expecting a legitimate professional competition with official recognition.
Debate between, or an issue about whether it's going to be an exhibition or whether it is going to be a real fight. Floyd is bringing this up. At least that is the contention of Manny Pacquiao. He only brought that issue up after he got the advance. So if he got an advance, he put money in his pocket that he needed in his pocket. And then after that, he's going to switch up and say, no, I don't want to have an exhibition. I don't want to have a real fight. I want to have an exhibition. And as a result, he's depriving Manny Pacquiao of the benefit of the bargain that Manny gave him when he got that advance. Because the advance is there because Manny agreed, assuming that it was going to be a real fight and not an exhibition, because there's no reason between these two guys to have an exhibition for 3 rounds and waste a bunch of people's money where there's nothing on the line, which means Manny can't get his get back and Floyd.
Speculation suggests Floyd may be exploiting these agreements to obtain immediate cash flow for covering expenses or funding alternative business investments and opportunities. However, these interpretations lack concrete evidence and remain theoretical assessments of Floyd's potential motivations. Broader concerns emerge about Floyd's business practices, suggesting certain decisions might reflect high-stakes financial maneuvering involving advance payments, contract modifications, and possible legal complications that could impact all parties involved.
And switch it up. And at the same time, Floyd did something else that I can see, at least this is my understanding, that Floyd Mayweather Jr. also negotiated himself another fight with a kickboxer in Greece. So Floyd gets his hands on some cash from the negotiation from Floyd with Manny. Then he also picks up another payday for himself with an exhibition against a kickboxer, and he has the exhibition on Netflix with Mike Tyson. All of which he can win and look good in, but at the same time not risk it.
That concludes today's analysis, so stay tuned for our upcoming coverage of this developing story and its potential implications.